Welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name is Emily.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're here with Oliver from Death by Audio Effects.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. It is late where you are.
Yeah, some may say. Who knows? Midnight.
Well, it's New York.
Late, whatever. The subway's still got hours before they go close, so we're all right.
Yeah, midnight in New York is different than midnight in Seattle.
I think so, yeah, almost everywhere, they're kind of like, we're going to bed, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But, that's okay. I used to stay up all the time until like maybe noon, but I don't do that anymore.
You would stay up until noon and then you'd sleep until like 8?
Maybe 5.
5? All right.
Yeah,
all right.
people would always like, he's sleeping, wake him up, so.
That's a very musician schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. College kids and musicians, sounds like.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was right there just to be hanging out with the college kids.
Yeah, I remember that when I was in college, I studied music business, and sometimes we'd have to go into the studio, and they were all working studios during the day, so everyone during the day is either classes or actual people who would book the studio, like real musicians. So then if you were a student and you had to like go into the studio to record your project, it had to be like 9 p.m. or later. So 9 p.m. not too late. That goes till midnight. But then the 12 p.m. sessions.
Were the places open all night long, or?
I think they tried to close them around 3:30. Yeah.
So
not too bad.
Oh yeah, come on! Just when you're getting excited.
I mean, this was in Nashville. It's nothing fun happening in Nashville. No, it's only one pizza place that would deliver up till 4 a.m. and you got food poisoning every time you ate there. But if you're ordering pizza at the time when they're the only pizza place open, you do it.
Yeah, you got to.
Last time I was in Nashville, it was for a series of last time I was in Nashville was for a series of Hold Steady shows. After the last show, we all go back to the house, and one of the guys, he just really wants a pizza. It's like 2:30 in the morning. It's only that one pizza place open. And I keep telling him, man, you're gonna barf later. You're gonna get real sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll barf if you're lucky. That's if you're lucky. And he's like, that's a risk I'm willing to take. And he messaged me later. He's like, oh my gosh, what did I do to myself?
You are so right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go. They have no competition though, so whatever, they can serve cardboard covered in rotten trash if they want to.
Yeah, as long as it tastes half decent.
There you go. And even if not, whatever.
capitalism.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, there you go. There used to be a pizza place that was around the corner from me, and the pizza seriously tasted like cardboard. But yeah, the only place in the area. So there you go.
Might have been cardboard. Do they still do? The places still have like dollar slice nights or hours?
There's just dollar slice pizza places all over the place where it's just dollar slice all day, all night. And the pizza is incredible. It's
I remember being in New York and doing the dollar pizzas and the 75-cent bagels.
Yeah, they have all that stuff, $3.
I've had some really sketchy slices of pizza in my lifetime, and you kind of like you're staring at it like maybe it's cardboard or maybe it's Maybelline, which I know that just took a very, very dark, like cannibalistic
This is
turn.
one of you guys' advertisers already? Wow, you guys, that's pretty good.
Oh, I wear so much makeup.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that kind of lady. I realized that I think Ann Silikowski isn't always in her demos, but I think that she and I might be the only demo artists who feel compelled to wear makeup in demos.
You feel compelled or you don't feel compelled?
It depends on the day. I'm about 50-50 on makeup. I've been working from home for so long, I just kind of stopped wearing makeup and sometimes deodorant.
You can. Why not, right?
I can. It's Seattle. It's not that hot.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. My husband doesn't care. My cat certainly doesn't care.
Or maybe your cat does care. Cats do have sensitive noses.
Yeah, I just figure cats probably think humans smell bad regardless.
Or maybe they love it. I don't know. Our cats sometimes go digging through the trash and all sorts of stuff. So you know, they like some weird smells. Their food is terrible smelling as well, too. So
It is. Yeah, I mean, to us.
I don't know.
Tell us
Yeah.
about your cats. I want to hear more about the cats, though.
So we have two cats, and this a cat named Nucka and Velvy. But also, Heather, my girlfriend's brother, was in a motorcycle or like a scooter accident, and so now we have two other cats at our studio. So I'm the carer of four cats, and so
Wow.
it's kind of like they kind of look alike, both sets of cats too. So it's kind of like wherever I go, there's a bunch of cats. It's pretty great.
Nice. Aw. Good cats. I hope they're good cats.
They're pretty good, you know, whatever. They get into stuff and, you know, claw stuff they shouldn't and whatever. But hey, that's what a cat's life is all about.
Yeah, that's why I don't let her in that room with the amplifiers without me also being in here.
Oh yeah, at least they're not the cats that like scratch the sides of records. Those are not good cats.
Yeah, she's only scratched at the sofa a couple times. Then we got her a scratching post, which weirdly she only uses when you're also scratching her, like next to the scratching post.
That's funny.
So it's like scratches are powered by scratches. It's one of her weirder and like I don't know if it's annoying. It's just kind of like a thing.
That's got to be some sort of like a cat intimidation thing. Like instead of like pissing on your bed, like asserting dominance, like, no, I'm just going to scratch this post, staring at you vigorously.
Oh yeah, maybe. They're like sharpening your claws. Next time this will be your face or something.
Yes, biting. She's only hissed at me once, and I did deserve it.
Well, it sounds like a pretty good cat.
Yeah, she's actually great, Princess Carrie Fisher.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. She's so little. Sometimes I'll just look at her, especially if I've like had an edible, and I'll look at her and say, "You're just so small. You're just so little." It just blows my mind how small she is.
Yeah, there you go. One of our cats is ginormous, like a huge cat. And so it's pretty.
Define ginormous. Like, let's start with weight.
I don't know how much a cat weighs. It's getting skinnier, and so maybe it used to weigh like 18 pounds or something. Is that big for
Holy
a cat?
crap.
That's fairly large.
It's not
The reason why
fat at all. It's just giant. It's like
right
bigger than any other cat, kind of cat.
Sounds like Percy, Andrew.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is I've got one of my two cats is his name is Percy, and he's like 18 to 20 pounds. He's just huge. Which is great.
And he's not fat. He's not fat either.
No, it's just rippling muscle.
Yeah, it's all muscle. That's what I always say. People sometimes will say, but no, it's muscle. It's a strong cat too. It'll do that kind of thing where someone will be like, "Oh, this cat's not intimidating," and then it'll like take its claws and stick it into that person's face or something, you know?
Right. Asserting dominance.
Yeah.
There's not a scratching post nearby. A face will do.
No, for sure.
Well, it's like, doesn't Percy assert? Is it her?
It's
Percy is a he.
Oh, Percy is
Percy. Yeah. Won't Percy? I feel like Percy sometimes asserts his dominance by taking a dump right before you're set to record your podcast next to the litter box.
Just any time that I sit down at my desk, because my desk is like in the study area that's right next to the laundry room where the litter box is, and every time I sit down, within 20 minutes of sitting down at my desk, just a massive disgustingly stinky dump.
Yeah. Well,
and that's how I know the coffee's ready.
That's like something, or is this just randomly, right?
I mean, who knows?
It's very often, or it's not that often?
I would say probably 2 to 3 days out of 5 days a week that I sit down at my desk.
That is insane.
Yeah, it seems pretty intentional, honestly.
And I don't always sit down at my desk at the same time, so it's pretty intentional.
Yeah, maybe he's afraid of the litter box or something like that.
Maybe I just need you know what I need to do? I need to pull the passive aggressive guitarist roommate move and just point a 4x12 at the litter box and just turn
there you go.
Everything out to 11.
Yeah, exactly. The cat will run, although it'll probably just poop someplace else in its while it's running.
It'll probably like just actively as it walks or run.
Oh, Andrew. Fine.
Yeah, you got to cut that word out, right?
With one of these guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It
so
was at
cute. You want to
9:56.
say cuss words to hear
I
that over.
got
The thing is, Andrew's the reason. Like he was more the driving force behind like not having cuss words because he's a little more family friendly. And I'm like, yeah, I remember when my parents wouldn't let me listen to music that had cuss words in it, so I'm cool with that. I didn't even thought of it. But then he's the one who cusses on the podcast, and then I get
that
so mad.
is it happens I'm about half to maybe 2/3 of a cuss word on average per podcast.
Half to 2/3. Yeah.
You two are angels.
My favorite was when we had Louise on, and I guess I'd forgotten from Dwarfcraft Devices on, and I guess I kind of forgot like to mention the cuss word thing, and she starts cussing. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna cuss. Like I'm already editing like a lot of this, so
Why
she's
not?
great.
Right? Hey, yeah, totally. They're so sweet.
Yeah.
I heard Ben is going to college or something, right?
Yeah, and she's working at a great company now. Got her dream job, basically.
Where is she working?
Band camp.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had to pick up that last chance to get an Eau Claire Thunder.
There you go.
No regrets. No regrets.
No,
That's
for
a
sure.
fun pedal.
Yeah, their stuff is so.
I have a couple of their pedals and they're all great. Like I love the Grazer so much.
So good.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So now we're just like talking about other people's pedal companies. I'm sorry.
Fine, whatever. Yeah, those are way better pedals anyway. So that guy is.
Well, now you can say that because they don't really sell them new anymore.
Oh,
There
whatever.
you have it, folks. You heard it here first.
Exactly. They're going back. That's all right. They'll come back. I'm sure they can't stop. Once they remember how fun it is to build pedals, they'll go back to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a for now.
Yeah, it's a break. Why not?
Actually, you can still buy new from them. Their Body Mod, which I really like and kind of wanted to get, and their Reese Lightning, which is a funny name. They got such good names.
So good. Yeah. Cool, creative people, always doing cool stuff. So it's awesome.
Well, now that we're sad and everything, Oliver, what are you drinking?
Lagunitas Hazy Memory IPA. And the only reason I remember that is because it's written on the can.
If you could describe that in 3 words, how would you describe it?
Armpit deliciousness.
Oh, wow. Are you sure you're not drinking scotch?
Hey, now, scotch is delightful.
I love scotch. Yeah, of course. No, I don't know. I just always, I love IPAs, but for some reason it just always kind of reminds me of an armpit. But, hey, that's just me. Maybe I like an armpit, so there we go.
I mean,
like those complex flavors really slow you down when you're consuming it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not particular. I will drink anything, like straight up anything. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine for me.
My husband always started drinking like the weird stuff in college because he realized if he bought like weird, dark, unique beer, that it wouldn't get stolen out of the fridge like the Miller High Lifes would.
That's smart.
He's a smart man.
He's a keeper.
Yeah, he is. Oh, I love that guy. I say about my husband.
Awesome.
I love that guy.
Thank goodness. Phew. That is good.
Shoot. I mean, it's like I'm glad that I just hope that people are getting past that weird boomer humor of like I hate my wife.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Those jokes are always so kind of, I don't know. You're a redneck when you whatever. So.
Yeah, it's like at my bachelorette party, some drunk lady grabbed me at some point during the evening, and she said, "Don't." It's like, "Don't what? Get married." I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, whatever. Stop touching me.
Exactly.
Run.
Run. Quick.
No.
Aww. I wonder what
great.
Yes, that could be too bad, right? Maybe she had.
Don't marry someone you hate. It's just I'm not gonna say it's easy. Just like maybe don't do that.
I think also people, there's like that kind of what they call it, like the honeymoon period or something, and they kind of rush into marriages, and then you don't know really
Yeah.
what type of person you're dealing with until you give it some time. So,
Yeah, I mean, he did move in like 3 months after we started dating, but we waited 3 years to get married.
well, that's awesome. Yeah. But you never know, though. I mean, you could be even Russian and get married like on your first date with someone who's awesome. You don't know.
Okay, yeah, but
Yeah.
marrying a Russian is an entirely different thing altogether.
Oh, duh.
The park is fantastic. All
Oh,
cabbage
let's see
you
if
can eat, all that stuff.
ooh, them beats. Oh,
Yeah, beef.
Pujolsta, give me the beats.
Exactly.
Love them beats.
Have you guys
When I was at, sorry, what?
been to Russia?
No, but my dad went to Russia, so when I was little, he put my brother and I both in this program in a Cincinnati public school where we took half our classes in Russian every day. My brother can still read Cyrillic. I cannot. I retain very little of it. My most vivid memory of Russian class, which I did for 2 or 3 years, was looking down at a bingo card. We were playing bingo in Russian, and it was all farm animals on the bingo card. And I'm just staring at it while the teacher's reading out these animal names in Russian. And I'm like, I'm not going to win. I don't know any of these words. I remembered Нет, да, до свидания, добрый день, спасибо, пожалуйста.
That sounds
End
fantastic.
of list. Yes, no, hello, goodbye, please, thank you.
Oh, wow, that's great.
I
you go.
have not been to Russia.
Oh, sorry, have you both been to Russia?
I've been many times, or a few times at least.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's great.
Ooh,
Fantastic.
that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the train wild and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really
My dad has a story about being at the airport, and there were like slot machines at the airport, and he was coming home, and he had some rubles left in his pocket. And he's like, "Well, I guess I better just like put these in the machines." He's like, and I kept winning. It was so stupid. He's like, "I just want to get rid of these freaking rubles."
No, I don't want any of these. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Andrew, you've been to Russia? I knew you would lived in Germany.
No, yeah. So I haven't been to Russia. The closest I've been would probably be the summer internship I spent in Poland.
Oh, cool. Where in Poland?
Kind of all over. We were the home base was Bielsko-Biała. Spent a little bit of time in Krakow and a bit of time in Łódź, and then just kind of just all over the country.
Oh, cool. That sounds awesome.
It was a good time. But as you can imagine, they're not terribly fond of the Russians. So
no, for sure. Yeah, all those bordering countries are not very fond of the Russians at all.
It's a bit of a sore spot.
Understandable.
And Lithuania and stuff, the people are like ready to go to battle.
Yeah, I worked with a woman from she was from the Ukraine, and she was basically evacuated from the Ukraine when she was very young. And since where she lived in the Ukraine has become Russia again, and she can't go back to Russia because they would revoke her American citizen or make her revoke her American citizenship, so she could never go back and see family.
Yeah.
Mildly awkward.
The places are really intense. I was in like Belarus, and like this guy who was going to drive us over the border was he was like, if he went over the border, that was like the one time he could go in 10 years or something. And so we were like, don't come over the border with us. This is terrible. Your one chance to get out of the country. Don't waste it on us. So there's definitely some weird like oppression and stuff like that going on.
Totally. That being said, St. Basil's Cathedral is the background on my computer.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
I've always wanted to go. Yeah. Now, didn't retain any of the language, but there's still some good stuff there.
Yeah, totally.
I remember when I lived in New York, I was interning at the Beggars Group Matador Records, and that year they were having their Christmas party at a Russian bar, and I was only 20, but it was 21 to get in, and I really wanted to go in. I really wanted to go to the Christmas party, and I really wanted to do the vodka tasting, which I missed because I got there too late. But I called up my friend Miriam, who had been in Russia, and I was like, can you teach me like how to say like, is this where the Christmas party is? Where is it in Russian or whatever? And because I'm like, if maybe the doorman is actually Russian, and if I speak Russian, he'll let me in without checking my ID.
I'm sure not.
And I go up to him, I say, And I say, however you said it, I'm like, spasiba. I mean, пожалуйста, where's the Christmas party? And he's like, he looks at me, he just says, he's upstairs. And I say, spasiba, spasiba, spasiba.
No,
awesome.
I hear the winning move is to say, "Ya machina." Just, I am the machine. Anybody seen that sketch?
Oh
No.
no, that sounds good.
There's this. Okay, so hear me out on this. There's this comedian named Brett Kreischer, I think is how you pronounce his last name, and he's this like overweight, middle-aged white dude that performs comedy without a shirt on. It's great.
Oh, cool. I'll write his name down. That sounds good.
And he's got this sketch called The Machine about the summer internship he took in Russia where he ended up being a part of the Russian mafia. And it's one of those, like, you get done with it, you're like, wow. I don't know if I totally believe it, but there's enough there that's compelling.
Could be.
Nice.
They're probably not picky. When you're walking through like malls and stuff in Russia, like everyone's got that like black sweater and like a gold chain kind of thing on, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's a stereotype for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
God. But at this Christmas party, I got to watch my boss drunkenly explain that she chose to eat the duck for dinner because when she was young, she went to a park and a duck terrorized her at a park.
Revenge.
Yes, revenge. And then I saw Michael Stipe and I was like, oh, wow. And then I went back to the dorm and was trying to explain to people, I saw Michael Stipe at a Christmas party and everyone's response was, who's that?
Yeah,
wait, awesome. Is Michael Stipe a part of the Russian mafia?
Oh.
Yes, let's start that rumor right now.
First. Yeah, exactly.
You heard it. The Athens, Georgia arm of the Russian mafia.
It makes sense. Shiny, happy people. It's all about USSR's breakup and all sorts of stuff.
Automatic for the people.
Yeah. Oh.
And why else would he lose his religion if not to join the KGB?
Oh, that's so true.
Damn, I think we're on to something collectively.
Or is it just rumors? Who knows?
And his orange crush is clearly Donald Trump, another authoritarian leader.
There you go.
All right. And time I put that.
So, Emily, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Bombay Sapphire Gin with a mixer called the I think it's called, I forget what it's called. It's from a company called Withco, but it's their botanical one. So it's very lavendery with a touch of lemon. I put it in my whale-shaped cocktail shaker, shook it up with some ice, got it real nice and cold, and delightful.
Sounds fantastic.
I love those mixers because I am way too lazy to make a fancy pants cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
Chances are decent. I would definitely drink that.
Yeah, when people can join each other again in each other's company, you should try it.
There we go.
All right. Well, we'll put it on the calendar for 2023.
What are you drinking, Andrew?
I'm having a riff on a Paloma in which I measured nothing.
Nice.
So I've got tequila, squirt, and a grapefruit seltzer water kind of just haphazardly mixed in a pint glass with some ice.
Nice.
That sounds
now
fantastic.
Please turn up your volume.
My input gain is dimed, so I don't know why it's coming through quiet.
It's so quiet, dude.
Is Oliver experiencing the same thing?
I can go louder too. I got more input volume to go.
Oliver's a great volume. You're quite quiet. I don't understand why sometimes you're like a very aggressive loud volume and sometimes it's nothing and it can be the same setting. It's so weird.
No, I blame the internet.
Internet. Dude, I thought you had that good internet.
No, it's not. I have the good internet.
Then why are you blaming it?
Look, I work in IT. All I have to do is say, "Oh yeah, it's got to be something that is up with the server," and then I wash my hands of it.
Oh, there you go.
Say, let me go talk to the server guy. Do we have a server guy? It doesn't matter. Give it 15 minutes. When the issue goes away, suddenly people think that I fixed it, and then I get promoted. That's pretty much my day job.
That was like when I was on vacation with my mom, and I was trying to torrent all of Sex and the City. And she kept complaining about the internet, and I'd be like, just go reset the router, and then she'd go to reset the router, I'd go and I would pause the torrent, and then she'd be like, oh, that fixed everything, and then I would just do it again. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry, Mom.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Just so we're clear, that's not actually what my day job is like. I swear I'm more competent than that. But
Yeah, watch out. They might be like listening to your podcast, and then they'll be like,
there's a couple of my coworkers who I am rather fond of that listen to this podcast.
Oh, sweet.
And they know that I'm joking. And we actually do have a server guy. He's awesome and is really good at his job.
That's great.
I am not the server guy.
Yeah. You're not the server guy? You're not talking about yourself here, are you?
I'm not. No, I am not the server guy. I'm the conferencing guy.
Yeah, our marketing girl is just so good here. Damn. Our marketing girl knows exactly what she's doing all the time.
Does she? She's so good?
Oh, she's so good at marketing, so good at the SEO. Damn, good at them Facebook ads.
Oh,
getting a 5-cent cost per click.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I don't know what that is, but that sounds good.
It's me.
It sounds like we've been drinking. Why don't we hit our ads now that you guys are all convinced of how honest we are?
There we go. Yeah, listen to these.
Yes, but I'm shook. This week's sponsor is Spun Loud Effects, based out of our very own Seattle, Washington. I had a social distance cider with Dan from Spun Loud Effects a few weeks ago. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. And even more wonderful is the Blister and Peel Volume 2. It's a 2-gain stage. He says overdrive fuzz, but I think even the overdrive basically gets into fuzz. Awesome. Really, really a nice pedal, and it's Andrew's favorite color.
It is. It is orange, which is pretty much all you need to know in order to convince you that you should buy it. It's orange, therefore it sounds better.
Yeah, it's in one of those Gorva design enclosures with the cut, so it's not.
Those are nice.
Yeah, those are nice. Oh, I was holding it, and I was like, "Wow, this is so nice." He's like, "Yeah, it's that Gorva enclosure." I'm like, "Damn, I've never seen." I think it's my first pedal in one of those S90 enclosures that they have.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those enclosures, and I've always thought these are beautiful, and so that's cool that someone put a cool pedal in there.
It's elegant, even.
I'm sure, yeah. All those smooth edges, like, that's not the pedal enclosure of yesteryear, I'll tell you that much.
Nah, this ain't your granddad's pedal enclosure.
Not at all.
This ain't your Big Muff.
Nope. Not the rat.
No. But it's really, really nice. One side is based on the Electa distortion, and the other and you crank that all the way, it's kind of turns into almost like an octave fuzz. And the other side is based on the Christian H. Baez, B-A-Z-Z fuzz design. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Christian pedals. I love Christian pedals.
Yeah, Andrew loves Christian pedals.
Yeah, if you thought the church was cool, check out the pedals.
So now that we've established that I'm incredibly shallow and I'm sold on the color alone, I'm going to put you on the spot and I'm going to ask, can I steal that pedal from you temporarily?
I have to film the demo of it first. I really want to do right by Dan, so I'm working a little bit extra hard on it.
That's
not that I don't always work hard on demos, Oliver.
No, whatever.
I just kind of want to do like a cool intro with it and stuff because it's so diverse.
While that was an excellent and compelling answer, that didn't really answer my question. Can I steal it at some point?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
Okay, cool.
Am I going to get it back, though? Because
I mean, I did say steal, and I kind of left it nebulous on purpose. So we'll find out.
Well, if I get the rooms to demo, you are not stealing it if you don't promise to give it back. I'm going to tell you that much.
All right.
I need it.
We'll send it to you for sure.
All right. So now that we're done with ads, I have some questions that just need to be answered. And
all right.
The first one right off the top of the list is, why is dying by audio the best way to die?
I have no idea, man. You tell me. I think maybe, why not, right? I mean, I always thought if to die would be the best way to be like jump off something really tall, so you'd have the moments to like think this was a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I guess it sounded cool to die by audio, so I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good way. I don't know. I kind of
aren't you in the loudest band in New York? So don't you try really hard to cause death by audio?
I guess so. Yeah, try to, push yourself to that limit of. I'll probably die by audio. I guess writing my own kind of, the future.
For the listeners at home, what's your band's name?
A Place to Bury Strangers.
Ah,
yeah.
I'm sure I have some of your records.
Could be.
Probably. Yeah. I have lots of great noisy stuff. Are you still the loudest band in New York when Dinosaur Jr. is in town?
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, but Dinosaur Jr. was definitely one of the loudest shows I've ever seen. At least when I can remember that. I remember that I went to the show at the Boathouse in Norfolk, Virginia, and there was this band on, and they were so loud. It was just insane. And I'm yelling into my friend's ear like, hey, man! We couldn't even talk to each other. And then Dinosaur Jr. came on, and they were like 10 times as loud as them. So.
Woof. I think the loudest I've ever heard a show was when I saw Subtract at Bonnaroo.
Oh,
and it was just the bass. Like I thought I was going to barf. It was so much bass. I had to leave. I've never had to leave because I thought that the music was actually going to make me seasick.
Sometimes that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. It was still awesome.
Yeah.
And that first Subtract record.
Playing shows or otherwise, you would just be kind of like feel bored or you're just standing around in like what you would imagine as your living room or something. So if things are crazy loud, like you don't know where the show is going and you don't know what's about to happen. So it's thrilling.
It is thrilling. That's a great way to describe it. I really miss going to thrilling shows.
I know, right? I keep on thinking, should I buy some like battery powered PAs or a generator or something and throw shows around here? But I don't know. We'll see.
What would the regulations be about that?
I think they'd just be like, who cares? Because there's like, it's just mayhem on the streets in reality around here because of, nobody wants to like seriously, mess with people or anything like that. And things are kind of like in a really weird, situation where people are kind of like fed up with the situation of stuff and kind of just barely kind of getting stuff together as much as they possibly can. It's like there's all these regulations and stuff in New York of like what you need to do to open up your business and do all this stuff. But, I talk to other business owners about this and they've never even heard of such things and stuff. So I think it's sort of a free for all.
Yeah, it's and the last thing you do, especially like my mom was just on a plane and the guy behind her didn't want to wear a mask. And she asked the flight attendants, like, was there anything you can do? Like, and they basically said, well, the thing is, like, if we keep pushing people, we don't know if they're going to start spitting on us and coughing on us on purpose or, like, hitting and stuff. So it's kind of like this thing where, yeah, there are rules, but
what are they, toddlers?
Nobody wants to enforce them because you don't know how the people are going to respond. I mean, just today, like a black guy got a gun pulled on him because he was shaming people for not social distancing on a patio, and a guy just pulled a gun on him.
When there was the smoking ban in New York, some bouncer asked some guy to like not smoke in the place, and he got shot and killed.
God, over a cigarette?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to come between smokers and their cigarettes. That is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Not recommended, but also shouldn't be lethal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No. Not a death sentence kind of thing. Yeah, not a terminal crime.
Yeah.
Wow, that was heavy.
That's the truth. Like, who wants to tell these people? Like, you already know they're kind of like got a screw loose or something if they're like getting crazy without their mask on or something. So, I don't know what makes sense. I've kind of thought about that for a while, like walking around, like, should I just hand out masks to people? But, then again, who knows? Like, there's those people who are just like, they take offense to it or something. And I don't know.
Yeah, people are unpredictable, and that is, just humanity a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, didn't you guys used to have like a warehouse space in Williamsburg where you did
we,
live shows?
yeah. Yeah. It was called
Yeah.
audio. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, that was incredible. I mean, just all the incredible artists that like kind of came through there, and just having a venue at your house is wonderful. I would suggest it for anyone. There's always like crazy stuff going on, and like, there's definitely times where you're like, what is happening here? But whatever, all the broken glass and fist fights and whatever are all like, an annoying noise, or worth it for all the benefits of, wild, crazy shows and weird things that you never would have seen anymore, and meeting people that you maybe would have never met and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. That's the stuff you remember.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Nice. So, normally we ask this early in the show, but what's new with you? I hear y'all have a new pedal. We've already been talking about it.
We have that pedal, yeah, that pedal Rooms. I guess it came out, I don't remember. Earlier this year. So that pedal is exciting. It was like a pedal. I'm like a Reverb fanatic. So, it was just a pedal that I'd had on my pedal board, and was like constantly redesigning for maybe like 2 years or something. And then once it seemed like we kind of had something that was really good, it was time to release the pedal.
Yeah, and is it your first? Am I wrong in thinking that it's your first pedal that has like mostly digital controls, or?
It's not digital controls, but it's all it's a totally digital pedal. And
Yeah,
so,
I'm sorry, that's what I mean. I
whatever.
misspoke.
There is it does have like a digital, switch or whatever for the program change or something, but that's, a very minor part, which is just digitally controlled analog switch. But, it is, yeah. And so for like, I don't even know how long, I guess for the same amount of time that pedal's kind of been started, for maybe like 2 years or something, was working on that programming language for the FV1. Which lots of pedal companies have kind of embraced and gotten into. And, I'm maybe one of those people who, doesn't always jump on some of those trains as they come about, but it seemed pretty exciting, and lots of people have done lots of cool stuff. So figured, why not?
And I know what especially has Andrew and I excited about is that has left and right out.
Stereo
And
is always
Yeah.
a win for me.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if people don't know the experience of like a stereo setup, it's so incredible. And
Oh, totally. I mean, it's life changing.
yeah, for sure. And so, yeah, I mean, you have two ears, or a lot of us do. And I think that really kind of takes things to the next level, hearing things like bounce back and forth and the depth and all of that. And so, I used to do all this kind of stuff where I would program all sorts of different like rack units to do all these things and bring them on tour. And it was just nice to be able to, bring these years and years of kind of like programming this stuff and be able to build an effect that actually does all that stuff that I wish all of these units had always been able to do.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's based on you're running off of the FV1, right?
Yeah.
Are you running two FV1s then if it's in stereo, or did you manage to sort out how to do that out of one chip?
It's all just done with the one chip. And so it has stereo ins and outs, and people can use it in all sorts of different ways. And, depending on how you program it, it can have, different things talk from the left and the right inputs and go to the left and the right outputs respectively. And so, there's just lots of sort of like these kind of like tricks that I would always use in doing like recording mix downs and stuff, or like mastering for bands, and all of these things kind of put in there that maybe people don't usually use to kind of do like wide stereo spreads and stuff. And so, I was able to do all of that, and, just because I'm a stereo fanatic. I've always played with like 2 amplifiers, like super far apart. And that's just, I think, where the ultimate sound is at.
Yeah, I think we can both get behind that. Or
Oh,
all three of us, I should
absolutely.
say.
Yeah, no, I've been having fun for years now trying to run like wet dry rigs.
Oh yeah, cool.
And or wet dry rigs.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bell.
There was the bell. I don't know where that was coming from. An iPad or something like that. I think that means something.
Should I be salivating?
Let's celebrate. Hell yeah. Cheers.
Multi-amp rigs are always like one of my favorite things. You can always make cool stuff out of 1 amp, but the possibilities just immediately expound. Adding a second amp, you throw in a third amp. Oh yeah, we're cooking with gas.
It's incredible.
Straight propane.
It's so true. We used to do this thing. I used to carry around a cassette of drums in my car when we would, like, if the drummer couldn't make it to the show, we would bring all the amps that we had and then run the drums through some of the amps. And so often it would be like 12 or 15 amps or something. And it sounds insane. It sounds really good.
Yeah. Damn. That's awesome.
Even that thing, like that whole multitude idea or whatever, like if you even record a guitar and put like 15 microphones on it or something, it sounds insane, massive as well.
Yeah. I mean, same with multi-tracking vocals or anything. Just
more
is better. More than people pretend it is.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot. But I mean, it's one of the standout features for me on looking at this thing, and it's mode number 6, the gong mode.
Sure.
What in the freaking world are we looking at here? Because I'm so like I'm sitting here like almost giddy just thinking about it.
So it sort of does this kind of thing where like the one knob like fades between it being like useful and unuseful if you're trying to play notes along with people. So it kind of like fades between like a sort of an aliaser, kind of like bit crusher, to the other side, which is like a ring modulator. And that's what it does, just to the reverb effect. And it just sounds insane. And so just inspired, it sounds at times like a gong. That's one of the most exciting sounds of it. So, it's just nuts. And that's either, if you want to play along with your band in the same key or not, either, fades between that being one of the uses or not, but the same kind of like just totally destroyed, awesome reverb sounds.
Was that a question from Noah, Andrew?
It very well could have been. I don't know. I've been, doing a little bit of research, and that just by far, like the other modes are super rad, and there's some really cool stuff in here, but that one in particular,
gong, there you go. Come on. Are you intrigued?
I'm incredibly intrigued. Like,
there you go.
Like on the list of like cool like reverb mode names, I would say I would put that like right above beer.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a beer reverb sound mode.
That was Empress, I think.
Oh, what does it sound like?
Yeah,
I don't know because I haven't owned one. But the name is catchy. I gotta say, I do like beer, so they've got me sold on that level.
You think it's like a drunk reverb or something, or?
All right, hold up. Now I'm utilizing the Google.
Yeah, now we got to know.
While Andrew is Googling, I'd like to take a second to shout out our Patreon program. If you like the show and want to support it with your money, our favorite way to do that is via our Patreon program at patreon.com/getoffset. And I want to shout out Patrick Pine and Pontius Helm. I'm so sorry if I said either of those names wrong. They are our newest patrons. So yay. Thank you. We love you. You helped make this show happen.
Yay.
Woohoo.
Yay.
So you all are offset guitar fanatics?
Sure.
I Yeah, I mean, we both have a lot of offset guitars, but it's just kind of a punny name. I'm a big Prince fan. The first Prince song I remember hearing was "Get Off," I was way too young to hear that song or see that video. It affected me.
And I'm just a dad that likes puns.
Yeah, he's a pun.
There you go.
Might as well have been 60 cycle pun. No, but you remember that Get Off the Get Off video?
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
It was like a big Caligula kind of orgy.
It sounds
I recommend it. I recommend the extended version. Despite the Prince rap, or maybe because of it.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Come on,
beer,
beer.
Beer is, according to the EmpressEffects.com page, this beer is, here's the description. I'm just going to read it verbatim. This is the category where we are putting the stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else. We're looking forward to expanding this mode by adding all sorts of weird modes. Currently, we've got a random glitch mode and a gated reverb. These modes are not recommended for everyday, all-day excessive use. They're more recommended
drums, right?
as a weekend indulgence, especially if you're supporting a family.
Well, if you're putting the reverb on them drums, you better be gated reverb. Oh my god. Is there anything more 80s sounding than gated reverb on a Linn drum machine?
Sounds so good. I don't know.
I mean, it's a great sound. You throw in a flange over the top of that, boom.
Yeah. I would say like the chorus, the chorus from a JC 120.
That's pretty 80s.
And the reverb, yes. That would be just the Cure in a box.
It's so good.
Yeah. Oh man, I listen to the Cure.
Oh yeah.
And now I want to listen to Lonely Island, so that tells you about our generational differences.
Yeah. Old millennials versus young millennials.
Yeah.
Old. You're so old.
Oh, God. Yeah. Wow. That was really rude.
I know. Well,
You're so wise.
Yeah. I have more wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom. That's what it is.
Would it be a proper episode of Get Offset if I wasn't borderline, if not outright rude at some point?
Yeah. I mean, I bet I can run a 5K faster than you.
That is contemporarily true.
Damn.
Just contemporarily. What's your fastest mile speed, Andrew?
So if we're counting in high school when I was like 110 pounds.
What?
And yeah, I was around maybe 115. I don't know, depends on whether or not it was raining outside. No, I ran cross country and track in high school before I got injured, and my mile PR time was 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
What?
Damn! That's very fast.
It was fairly fast, but then I got injured, and now I can no longer do that.
That's like Roger Bannister fast, almost.
Yeah, that's so good.
I mean, there was other guys on the team that could run faster.
Yeah, I mean, I was not a fast cross-country runner.
We had a beast of a cross-country team, which is probably why I overtrained, because I wanted to be in with big dogs. I wanted to be on varsity so bad.
Yeah.
Competition. The only varsity I was in high school was the academic team.
Yeah, my high school did like the whole like Letterman's jackets and stuff. One of the high schools I went to, and I got a Letterman's like patch for academics, and I just like, why? I don't know.
That sounds weird. I've never seen a letter for academics.
I never ended up getting a Letterman's jacket. It just felt like a waste of $200, but.
Oh, it is a waste of money, because if you wear it like the moment you're done with high school, you are an enormous loser. Like, that's just how everybody feels about it, right?
I mean, depends on who you're talking to.
Or you wear it ironically. I don't know. I didn't wear mine when I was in school.
The high school I'm thinking of was like in a really small town in Central Coast, California. And it was like, people would like just never leave the town. And they would always, like, after they graduate high school, they hold on to the Letterman's jacket, and then, like, they would go back, like, and watch the high school football team play on Friday nights, and they would wear their Letterman's jacket in the stands. And that was
that sounds about like my town, too.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah, I guess you had to buy a Letterman's jacket if you were planning on staying in town.
Yeah. Where are you from, Oliver?
Fredericksburg, Virginia.
I know nothing about it.
It's like a Civil War town. There's like a college, Mary Washington College. Um, I don't know. It's kind of like it's like right in between Richmond and Washington D.C. So it's like
My
that.
brother worked at one of those Richmond theme parks for a while. Not Busch Gardens, but I guess it was probably Six Flags then.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Get
don't
your
remember the
character.
Six Flags down there, but yeah, maybe there is. Yeah, that could be. But yeah, I mean, you do just like drive around in the country and stuff.
Oh,
It's nice.
it might have been King's Dominion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Busch Gardens and King's Dominion. That's
Yeah.
a lot of theme parks.
Yeah, well, one's kind of all about beer, Busch Gardens, and the other one was all about like Yogi Bear or something. So different idea.
Yeah, they had the Hanna-Barbera land, I'm sure,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it was a
Hey,
theme
boo
park.
boo.
Did they have a replica? Did they have a replica of the Eiffel Tower there?
They do, yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I grew up near a theme park called Kings Island, and there was a
Oh,
little baby blue Eiffel Tower, and we had the Hanna-Barbera land.
oh yeah.
I remember I had a friend who worked at Busch Gardens, and she said that in some of the the themed areas they had to wear bonnets, and I felt so
Oh.
bad for her. She had to wear a bonnet to work.
Oh wow. Yeah.
While I'm wearing my men's pleated shorts that are a size too big. I quit that job over those damn shorts.
If you live in Williamsburg, Virginia, and you live in the old town, you have to wear period outfits all the time.
I have been to Williamsburg when I was in the 8th grade.
You have to take a horse to your garage, which has your car in it.
Yeah, that was a strange town. It was kind of fun, but it was also kind of strange.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And probably tip your cap and say good day. Can I have some more mead or whatever?
Yes, the mead.
Okay,
A little
yeah,
mead
but
would go well with his corn mash.
Yeah, exactly.
I can get behind mead.
Oh God, I bought mead by accident. It's so gross.
I don't even know if I've had mead. I'm sure I have, but
It's honey wine, so it's really saccharine.
Dang.
I think it's delightful, and it's what I imagine Pooh Bear was actually having the entire time, because let's be honest, in Winnie the Pooh, Pooh Bear is an alcoholic.
He seems pretty drunk.
Yeah.
That was not honey, that was mead.
Yeah, exactly. It was already
Honey
wasted, so just dipping the hand in the honey jar.
Right? Who does that in a honey jar? You just got to be blasted drunk to be oh, I'm just going to stick my hand in this honey and lick my hand.
Or have a very weird kink, I guess.
Oh, what? I'm all out of honey pots. I'm going to have to go harass my friends to see if they've got any left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just I just need a taste. I just need a taste. It's just something to keep me straight,
Come on, man. I know you got some in there. Come on, bro.
Wait, do you think the honey was opium or something like that? What are you talking about?
No, mead. It's mead.
That's mead. All right, yeah.
Well, why are you drinking mead, licking the mead off your fingers? That's pretty messed up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to get your fix.
I don't know. It's just so many questions. Some more, so many bad theories this episode. Michael Stipe is a Russian agent.
I think so. Yeah.
Pooh Bear is an alkie. So awful.
And the real question is, which ones were plausible?
Pooh Bear being the alkie. I mean, that's we know that's the facts. I think Michael Stipe probably is a Russian agent, but I'm not positive.
I know that we will never find out.
I hear if you play REM songs backwards, it sounds like Russian.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, how about it?
That could be.
Someone's about to take some shrooms and play it all backwards. Whoa.
What in the world? Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I listened to some whole episode, some sort of myth-busting podcast, and they did a whole episode about backwards messages in music and how sometimes backtracking is real, but usually if you think it's saying "Hail Satan, Hail Satan," it's probably not.
My buddy had this Farmer in the Dell record, and I look for it on eBay often because it was like, I don't know, the Fisher Price Farmer in the Dell. And it was like the farmer, he had like a pitchfork and a goatee. And if you put like your finger over the top of his hat, it looked like the devil, kind of like two horns, because like a cowboy hat with the two sides. And when you played the record backwards, it was so scary. It would say, "Hack up your father, hack up your father." And it was like, so like, I always am looking for that record because I'm like, I want to hear it again, because we used to play it when we'd be like, fucked up or something and just hanging out and wanted to show someone how crazy this was. But, yeah. It's I don't know. It sounded sure like it then. I don't know if it did. That was a little while ago, but
I know that there are some Prince songs with some backmasking.
Oh, Prince does that? That's cool.
He did it in Darling Nikki. It's pretty obvious that it's backmasking. I think it's let me look.
What's that song? What's she saying backwards in that?
In what song?
That like Missy Elliott song or something?
Oh, she's saying you put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it, but she's saying it backwards, which is funny. There's on Darling Nikki by Prince.
Oh, yeah.
You hear the backmasking is, "Hello, how are you? I'm fine because I know that the Lord is coming soon, coming soon, coming soon," followed by 37 Ha's. Sorry. I don't know why. I'm just reading Wikipedia. It just says followed by 37 Ha's.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, somebody counted them.
That's pretty good. I always thought it was so weird when someone would have all these like ooh, ooh, ahs in their song, and then you would like, there would be like the official lyrics somewhere from the band. Like I remember maybe reading some like Duran Duran lyrics or something, and they wrote down in the lyrics like ah, 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 ooh, 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 or something. I was like, what in the world? Is that like for real?
Wow. I don't know.
I just thought that was silly. But yeah, I guess people want to know.
Slight change of topic.
Stuff. Yeah.
Change the topic.
Do it.
The She Shreds Band Memes 666 collaboration giveaway.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Great. Yeah. They're so nice. Love She Shreds. So yeah. That was good. Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, they're so good.
I can't wait to see what they got going up next. I was kind of helping them with their site relaunch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I do professionally, is making sure that I've done a couple site migrations. So I'm like, hey, I'll help you make sure that all your stuff is in order.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, things break when you change URL domains and things. So just I like being able to use the stuff I do for work every day, which isn't the most exciting thing at the party, to help the brands and the companies and people I like.
Yeah. That's always good.
Cool. Yeah. Well, Andrew, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, I always have things, but I don't want to keep you for too long. I mean, it's 1 a.m. there.
Yeah, whatever.
What's the fireworks situation?
Right now, there's no fireworks going on, and it's really weird because it was insane on the 4th of July, and just even this whole past month, it's just been like nonstop fireworks. I mean, it's awesome as a person, but I'm sure some people don't like it. But on 4th of July, it was like seriously like a war was going off. It was so cool. Just everywhere you would look, there were people shooting off fireworks in the streets, like so dangerous. Just like every which way. It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to shout out while you're still on the podcast?
No, whatever. I don't know. People be good to each other or something.
Nice. Well, we'll check the show notes for links to everything Death by Audio. Oliver, thank you so much for joining us in the middle of the damn night.
Yeah.
And thank you both for only cussing 4 times.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
I'm going to turn this around, and it's going to launch in an hour and 50 minutes.
Awesome.
And
Thank
this
you
is
so much.
officially
Awesome.
this is officially the fastest turnaround time we've ever had on the show.
Fantastic.
And if you're listening, please rate and review us on iTunes. It's been a minute since we've gotten a review. They really help us out. They are free to do. Please do that. Please. Pretty please. I don't want to beg, but it makes me very happy, and I kind of miss the more consistent flow of reviews.
And if that's not enough motivation, it doesn't make me happy. So if you needed reverse psychology or some sort of I want to ruin Andrew's day, also just leave a review, but also make sure it's 5 stars, because to do otherwise would be cruel.
We won't read it if it's less than 5 stars.
Yeah. If it's less than 5 stars, I'm going to come over to your house and give you a little what's for.
No, I'm definitely going to read it and then cry in the bathtub.
It's the truth. People don't realize, hey, bad reviews and bad comments are the ones that stick with you. So,
yeah, that's something that I've been trying to work past in therapy for a while.
I'm not sure I actually will. I'm just trying to give people a wide smattering of reasons to leave a review for both good and bad reasons. Now you have no excuse.
Yeah, good or bad, whatever it is you're thinking about, leave that review.
Do it. Check us out on YouTube. Also, yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for understanding. My name's Emily.
My name's Andrew.
I'm Oliver. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
1, 2, 3.